A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
My bitch a choosy lover, never fuck without a rubber. Never in the sheets like it on top of the cover. Money on the dresser, drive a compressor. Top notch hoes, get the most, not the lesser. Trash like the buck with $40 in the club. Fucking up the game, bitch, it gets no love. She be cross country, giving all that she got. 1,000 a pop, I'm pulling business off the lot. I smashed up the gray one, bought me a red. Every time we hit the parking lot, we turn head. Some hoes wanna choose, but them bitches too scary. Your bitch chose me, you ain't a pimp, you a fairy.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
Baby, you been rolling solo, time to get down with the team. The grass is greener on that other side. If you know what I mean, I show you shit you never seen. The 7 wonders of the world. And I can make you the 8th if you wanna be my girl. I say my girl, I don't mean my woman, that ain't my style. Need a real street stalker, walk a green mile. Piling up the paper on the dining room table. Cause you able to realize I'm the truth and not a fable. Baby, rockin' Russian sable, keep that chiller on the rack. What I look like with some $1,000 shit up on my back. I'm $1 million man, they need $1 billion bitch. Put my pimpin' in your life, watch your daddy get rich. Easy as ABC, simple as 1, 2, 3. Get down with UGK, Pimp CBU with B. Cause what's a hoe with no pimp, and what's a pimp with no hoe? Don't be a lame, you know the game and how it goes. We try to get chose.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Good to be back after my Vegas vacation. Well, Dallas and Vegas, I should say. Yeah, I had fun. It was good to see my brother again. I hadn't seen him since Christmas. I saw a lot of my old high school friends. I met a few of you guys. In particular, I met Jeremy, who is in the chat. I think his tag is the bearded. Hold on. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot his tall bearded guy on Discord, but he's Jeremy in the chat. I met him, and I had my pickle shirt, and we took a picture of it, but I forgot to upload it, so I apologize. We'll have to take a look at that later. I also met Kojak, Doug. As many of you know, he's been the guy who's been sending me care packages the last couple of months. It's been a great time, and you know, both my brother and I, we got to meet him. It was we had a great time then. And then we left on Monday to, I know, Jim. And then on Monday we left to Vegas, where I got to experience Vegas and all of its wonder and glory. So to get the question, we're gonna go straight to the videos, but I wanna talk a little bit about Vegas because that was part of the title. To answer a couple of y'all's questions. Number one, I did not get nearly as drunk as you guys think I did in Vegas. In fact, I think I got more drunk on Saturday, meeting Jeremy at Cidercade in Dallas than I did at any point in Vegas. Or at least I had the worst hangover on Sunday as a result of it. The second thing, and so, I mean, we went to a nightclub in Caesar's Palace called Omnia. There, and it's like a very exclusive club. That's sort of, you know, nightlife. I haven't been to a freaking nightclub since I was in law school. Maybe not even that, since college. My brother's friends and we all shared to have bottle service. Had a good time. I feel like I did drink, but I was fine the next morning. It could have been that I had the good vodka. So we had Tito's. So maybe that's why I didn't have a hangover. I didn't feel like I drank a lot the night before. But I had fun there. And then the next question is, how much did I lose in gambling? Well, I didn't. I actually left Vegas up $10 in gambling winnings. At my peak, I was up $210 thanks to roulette. But then because the house always wins, on Tuesday night or Tuesday afternoon, I went back to the roulette tables and I lost $200 in like 20 minutes. Fucking rat bastard. So in terms of pure gambling, I left up $10. But don't worry, Caesar's Palace took a lot more than that in terms of booze and food. Holy shit. I knew going into Vegas it was going to be expensive. I didn't realize it was going to be that expensive. Let's put it that way. What's up, UpET? So, I know the house always wins. In one way or another, they always win. Oh, I know, Aaron. I know damn well the casinos are in business to make money. I'm not one of these asshats who think that people can come out and game the system. No, I did not sing shanties, and no. Thank you for joining the crew, DMD. Much appreciated, man. I feel like I was more prepared for that than you wanted me to do. You wanted me to be, but thank you, Kojak, for the $10 jump scare. You almost had me, but I appreciate it. It was good meeting you down there too. Okay. So we're gonna go straight to. Well, I was actually listening to the court hearing, but let's go to the traffic stop. And then I think by request, we're going to go watch Van Ballian's latest. It sounds like a freaking treat. So we're going to have to do that too. So give me 1 second here. Oh my, Kivy! With $100 donation. What the? Why? Why? Kivy, thank you so. You just gifted me Pavlov in VR. You did not have to. Oh my god, thank you so much, Kivy in Texas. You didn't need to do that. I left up. I left with $10 in gambling winnings. I still appreciate it. That $100 paid for like. That $100 paid for like 2/3 of my dinner bill on Monday night. Jesus. We went to a really nice steakhouse on Monday night. I appreciate it though. Thank you so much. I know, Deacon, I know. But you also know we said where we're coming from too, Deacon. But I appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you so much, Kivy. The steak was actually worth the cost, I will say. It was actually really fucking good. Anyway, traffic stop. Let's do this. This is in Washington State because, of course, it's in Washington State.
Your name and badge number?
What?
Your name and badge number.
Deputy Nazaria 1646.
All right.
License, registration, proof of insurance.
Yeah, I heard that the third time.
Okay.
Oh my god. Mog Miner, thank you for the $10 God! Mog Miner, thank you for the $10 tip. I'm broke until the 25th, but I can't not welcome you back with a little jolt. Say hi to Winston and Archer for me and my neighbor's orange outdoor kitties. Aw, will do. I'll showcase the kitties because I'm sure you guys miss them more than you miss me. Carrie D, thank you for the $10 super chat. Have a couple of beers on me. I appreciate it, though. I'll talk about it later after we get through this traffic stop. And if I can get through these super chats, I still appreciate it. I will be talking about an idea of what I'm going to be doing for the next month and a half. It may involve holding back on the alcohol for a bit, but I'll go with the details later. Thank you, Mo Army, for the $5 super chat as well, super sticker. Thank you.
Gotta find it. Where the fuck did it go?
Thank you, right up your alley for the $5 super chat.
Unless the last cop didn't give, unless the last guy didn't give it back to me.
Okay.
This is Snohomish County Sheriff.
There we go. I'm good. In all seriousness, I've only actually seen the hearing. I know what the traffic stop is about, but I didn't realize there's a lot of dead air because, of course.
Here it is.
Thank you.
My insurance is on my phone.
Hey, D-Gen.
My insurance is on my phone.
Okay. Can you pull it up for me?
Not while I'm documenting.
Okay. So how are you going to show me that you have insurance?
Well, I don't have another phone, so
What was that?
I don't have another phone, so it's on my phone. That's the only way I can show you.
Well, if you can't provide it to me, then
Is live streaming the traffic stop that important for you that you can't temporarily stop the stream, get your insurance, and then restart it? Like, really?
then
All right, then I'll see you in court.
sounds good.
Yep.
Just hang tight for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I already asked for his name and badge number. The live stream cut out.
God forbid. This is not Van Ballien's latest,
Just a joke nowadays.
but I will be checking that out. I have
We
not
already
seen
pay for
that
our
yet.
Taxes on the streets to ride freely.
Do you
and
pay
they
taxes?
want more money, more money, more money, more money, more money. All they are is pirates.
Road pirates.
My tabs are expired.
Okay, so you're running expired tags.
And I'm not getting tabs. I don't need them. I'm turning in my license and my plates, and I'm going to be done with the state.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a rarity, guys. This is somebody who is about to go full Sov. This is a rare one. He hasn't yet. He's in transition right
And
now.
I drive like a free man.
Yep, free man.
I'm just working on that right now. I'm tired of these. They're blue line pirates. That's all they are. Stealing people's money as much as they can. That's all they can do. And I asked the guy, I said, what'd you pull me over for? License registration. License registration. License registration.
Script Cat, thank you for the $1.99 super chat and welcoming me back. K-Rab, $4.99 super chat. Innocent auditors in the chat. He isn't innocent. He is bad news. Don't interact with him. It just, I assume you say, encourages him. He's fine, guy. He's been respectful in the chat. He's not there to troll. We're able to have a decent conversation. We're gonna have disagreements, but unless he does something completely outrageous, I'm not going to ostracize him. I mean, there's a reason why I gave him the wrench, is because, I don't believe in the idea of censoring somebody who is otherwise not doing anything.
Fucking idiot. Dumbass kid. He got his 3 weeks of training and thinks that he's above everybody else. I'm tired of these pigs.
Okay, I'm going to say that I'm willing to bet that it takes more than 3 weeks to become a sheriff's deputy. Believe it took my brother 10 months in the academy, and then a year with an FTO.
Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I appreciate it. Yeah, run from the cops. That'll work out well. We all know how they like to shoot and kill people, especially Snohomish County Sheriff. So, it's alright. I'll have my day in court, and gods with robes will uphold what they say and try to steal more money from me. I'm fine with it.
I appreciate that, Thea. Hey, philosopher. I'm sorry to hear you're dealing with some pain issues. Oh my god.
Hey, piracy. I mean, it's just modern day piracy is all it is. They steal your money, they steal your property, they steal everything they could get their hands on, and then they try to lock you up in a cage for victimless crimes.
I tend to agree with that. I feel that, yeah, it's not 3 weeks, but... But, no, I haven't, Philosopher, but I will be playing it very soon, possibly this weekend. I'll keep you posted. But I would say, you could have like a year in the academy, and maybe if resources are available, maybe 2 years field training, unless it's more in other academies. I'll have to ask my brother how long he is with a field training officer, but you can never have too much training, especially for somebody especially for the responsibilities that come with being a police officer.
Who's the victim in me not having tabs? That I'd like to know. The state can't be a victim.
State can't be a victim. Hey, Jeremy. This guy sounds like Jeheretic.
We pay their salary and they still want more and more and more. Steal more money from us. Going around in boats and stealing loot. They're doing it in vehicles.
Oh, no, here's more road pirate comparisons.
Instead of going around in boats and stealing loot, they're doing it in vehicles. I think all of them have qualified immunity. They're above the law. They can do whatever they want. They can shoot whoever they want, taser, beat the shit out of them, and nothing will happen to them. Hey, what's up, Derek? I got pulled over for not having a tab on, a little sticker on my license plate, which I refuse to get. Oh yeah, they take as much time as they possibly can. 11th. So at least this car is marked. The last one wasn't marked. And that's my fight in court. So the last...
He's been very quiet, D-Gen. I haven't heard much from J. Heretic in a long time.
You can see the outcome in that. At least this car is marked. The last one wasn't marked. And that's my fight in court. So we'll see what happens with that.
Wait, I thought this traffic stop was by an unmarked car. So wait, this isn't even the traffic stop in question?
And I believe, if somebody could tell me real quick, I believe tabs are a secondary offense. I'm not positive on that, but yeah, here he comes.
I don't know about that. I know damn well you can, in New Jersey, you can absolutely be stopped for expired tags. They don't, a cop doesn't need an initial reason for it.
All right, sir, here's your license registration and your citation. You have 15 days to respond to the citation from the date of issuance. You can pay it, contest it, or mitigate it.
What was the reason for you pulling me
I
over?
already told you, sir. You have a good night.
No,
okay?
what was the reason?
I already told you.
That's a secondary offense. You fucking cocksucker. Do your fucking job. It's a victimless crime.
Whoa, settle down, buddy. He got out of the car.
You don't understand victimless crimes? Do something real. You're a real hero. You solved the crime of the century, you fucking cocksucker. Go fuck yourself. Yeah. Bareback the blue. You're the reason why the cops get shot. You fucking pig. Fuck off. So that's the end of that, guys. Let's see what he cited me for. Yeah, $1,000 fine.
Fuck.
No tabs and no insurance.
Oh, that's right. Because you didn't want to stop the live stream to show your to get on your phone to show your insurance.
No fucking pigs.
I was gonna say expired tags. $1,000 for expired tags is fucking wild. But when he said no insurance, that checks out.
Yeah, I'm tired of these motherfuckers. So, yeah, it was $231 for expired tabs. And $553 for no insurance. Who's the victim in these?
Wait, hold on.
550. And yeah,
wait, hold on. How much was it?
So, yeah, it was $231 for expired tabs.
That's about right.
And $553 for no insurance.
Okay, so that he is rounding up a lot then.
Who's the victim in these crimes, people?
So then,
somebody please tell me who the fucking victim is.
so he's rounding up like over $200. Okay.
The only victim here is me. Well, once again, guys, I really appreciate you joining me.
Okay. Now we're gonna go to the court date. This guy apparently, in his fucking infinite wisdom, decided to come to the court with a clandestine audio, but then instead of fucking waiting until close to his hearing, he decided to start the live stream outside the courthouse and just sit there and wait for over an hour while everybody else's case was being heard. God, like, seriously, what is it Raj and SE say? Like, no respect for your audience?
An accusation of speeding too fast for conditions means it just in essence you're hitting other what it was. Or you can take continue yes. Two in your section committed that.
Yes, sir.
John Strand, is that you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Strand, good afternoon. You're here accused of expired vehicle registration, $231 from February 11. Have you discussed your case with the prosecutor?
Briefly.
Okay. And do you wish to go forward with a contested hearing today, or did you have some other option that you wanted to take?
No, I want to contest it.
Okay. And are there any preliminary motions?
That the ticket be thrown out. Dismissed.
On what legal grounds?
RCW 46.08.65, driving an unmarked vehicle. It was an unlawful stop. If you'd like, Your Honor, I can read the law to you.
I need you to give me that citation one more time. 46?
46.08, that's 065.
Hold on. While this is playing, I'll showcase
And I'd
that.
also like to submit pictures of his vehicle.
I don't have all these memorized.
Okay, that's
When you
fine.
look at the statute you're referencing, is there one of these sections that you want me to familiarize myself?
Section 1, it's unlawful for any public officer having charge of any vehicle owned or controlled by a county, city, state, or city, town, or public body in the state other than the state of Washington and used in a public business or operating the same public highways of the state unless and until there shall be displayed upon the automobile or other automobiles in letters contrasting color not less than 1 1¼ inches in height, conspicuous place on the right and left sides thereof, the name of such county, city, town, or other public body, together with the name of the department or office upon the business of which the said vehicle is used. This section shall not apply to vehicles of the sheriff office, local police department.
Yeah, okay. I apologize. I should have said that before we go into this. Essentially, what he's trying to argue here is that under RCW, which is Revised Code of Washington, 46.08.065, there are certain requirements, or excuse me, police vehicles need to be marked with certain exceptions. Section 1 says, in pertinent part, says this section regarding the requirement to have a marked vehicle. This section shall not apply to vehicles of a sheriff's office, local police department, or any vehicles used by local peace officers under public authority for special, undercover, or confidential investigative purposes. And his stop was by a sheriff's deputy. And so he is arguing that the sheriff's deputy, was not engaged in. He's essentially saying that traffic enforcement does not fall under special, undercover, or confidential investigative purposes. When I went to look this up online, I found a defense firm, a criminal defense firm, in a blog post saying, no, that's not how we interpret the law. They argue that no, traffic enforcement can fall under that exception to the rule. In other words, undercover work does not mean fucking the Departed esque deep cover with the mob or drug cartels type of John. Undercover can also mean traffic enforcement. He'll be making the argument that that's not the case. So that's the argument that he's making here.
Department any vehicle other by local police officers under public authority for special, undercover, or confidential investigation purposes. The subsection may not apply to any municipal transit vehicle operated for purposes of providing public mass transportation. Any vehicle governed by the requirement of subsection of the section, nor or any motor vehicle loaned to a school district for training purposes. I imagine
your argument.
in the state of Washington, a vehicle that he was driving was not marked, and in the state of Washington, you can only use these vehicles for special investigative uses, which is traffic control, DUI, task force, undercover investigations. I'm sorry?
Why is this not traffic control?
The law specifically says that it is not to be.
Okay, so he's also actually saying that traffic control can be used under this subsection, but he's arguing with he's also making the argument that traffic control and traffic enforcement are two separate things. But based on how I look at the RCW, I'm not sure if I buy that I'm not sure if I buy that distinction. Thanks, Hank's Corner for the $5 super chat. Nice try, Sparky. You definitely have a fool for a client. Innocent Auditor, $4.99. I've never reported a channel for any reason. I wish I could prove it. I never have. Ari and I disagree on things, but I would never disrespect his chat. I don't know what the drama is with Innocent Auditor and other small channels. I'm not going to have that debate tonight. I'm not going to, and I'm not going. In other words, RPF, he's making the argument that that the rule exemption on marked vehicles only apply to, say, like DOT vehicles, Department of Transportation, like road maintenance. You know what I mean? In other words, an official vehicle can just have the fucking orange lights. But I'm not buying that argument. I think traffic control means traffic. It can also mean traffic enforcement, but that's how I would interpret the statute.
Used for traffic control as we go down.
But you're not pulled over for any kind of moving violation, which would be traffic control.
Traffic enforcement, I'm sorry. Is it?
So you pulled you over for expired vehicle license.
Correct. And in the state of Washington, you cannot use an unmarked vehicle for traffic enforcement, only for traffic control.
He wasn't pulling you over for a traffic moving violation, right? So is there a distinction there? I'm asking.
Well, the ticket said moving violation.
Well, it's not a moving violation.
It did say on the ticket moving violation.
It's not a moving violation.
Okay.
So,
well.
Okay, let me hear from the prosecutor. So, in essence, I would couch your argument is you're saying that the officer lacked authority to stop you because the officer was not in a marked patrol vehicle.
Correct.
The summary of your argument. So let me hear from the prosecutor.
Yes, Your Honor, this is that section 3 of the statute, specifically X officers who are doing traffic control, if it's been designated by the chief of the Washington State Patrol. Subsection 2 is the one that states what exactly needs to be on the vehicle. So in subsection 3, when it exempts officers who have been given permission by the chief of the Washington State Patrol, makes it.
Thank you, Deacon, for the $5. $5 super chat. Okay, if the cop didn't buy this mess, why do you think a judge would? Well, I mean, the judge is asking a legit question. A judge is asking a fair question. He's at least giving this guy's argument, some latitude. And he asked the prosecutor, some responding questions. The prosecutor here, she's getting it wrong in the sense that she's referring to a part of the section that's regarding state patrol vehicles or state patrol officers, which is not applicable here because it was a sheriff's deputy who stopped him.
So that those vehicles don't need to have that on their vehicle. So it's the same position that an undercover officer giving a ticket.
Hey, what's up, Vilified?
An issue according to this statute.
And you're referencing 46080653. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor. My apologies for not listing the statute.
So, traffic control vehicles of the Washington State Patrol may be exempted from the requirements of subsection 2 of this section at the discretion of the Chief of the Washington State Patrol. What's your response to that?
This was Snohomish County. Snohomish County doesn't have a pact with the city or the county for driving unmarked vehicles for traffic enforcement. Not that I'm aware of, no, sir.
I'm sorry. I thought you were indicating that Snohomish County doesn't have.
Wait. Can you guys not? Oh, shit. Maybe I should turn up the volume. Sorry. A little bit there.
An agreement with the city of Everett
To drive unmarked vehicles. It also says in here that they have to go to their governing parties to allow unmarked vehicles to use them for traffic enforcement.
So,
Like Spokane County has a pact with the county so that they can use their Spokane County vehicles unmarked legally. Snohomish County, as far as I know, doesn't have that.
Is Officer Jay Latimer a trooper?
Your Honor, and that's my apologies. I didn't realize who the officer. He's with a deputy with Snohomish County Sheriff's Department.
And so now that you know he's a deputy, what is your argument with respect to the defense's motion?
Yes, Your Honor, I think this is covered in section 1 of RCW 4608-605, which specifically states this does not apply to vehicles of the sheriff's office.
So it says this section shall not apply to vehicles of a sheriff's office, local police department, or any vehicles used by local police officers under public authority for special undercover confidential investigative purposes. So I think his argument is that what's the state relying on to indicate that this is for being used for special undercover or confidential investigative purposes? Mr. Godey.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I think whenever an officer or any law enforcement officer is in an undercover car, the purpose of being in an undercover car is to do law enforcement. That's in a conspicuous manner. That's going to be a confidential investigation. I think if they wanted to be in a vehicle that was fully marked, that would be used for potentially another purpose. So I think just in and of itself, using an undercover vehicle shows that there is a undercover or confidential investigation is the purpose of why they're doing that.
Mr. Strait.
And that, in my opinion, is a shitty argument. She essentially argues that because due to the fact that the cop was using the unmarked vehicle, that automatically qualifies the traffic enforcement as being qualifying under the special investigation or undercover. It's a circular argument, in my opinion. So the fact that he's using the unmarked vehicle in and of itself means that he's using it for an undercover purpose. But the argument is she should be trying to justify that traffic enforcement qualifies as an undercover purpose or a special investigation. That it's been an accepted practice to be able to use an unmarked vehicle for traffic enforcement, in that it qualifies as traffic enforcement qualifies as undercover work, or can qualify as undercover work. I find that to be a completely shit argument. I agree. No, but the thing is, I agree that traffic enforcement can be, enforced by unmarked vehicles. I've seen it all the time, and I'm pretty sure courts have upheld it. But her legal argument here is is stupid.
My biggest problem with them driving unmarked vehicles is the law was put on the books to protect the people. The people are not being protected. Anybody can put a light kit on their car. Anybody can act as an officer. You can get all this stuff online. People.
Right. Okay. Now he's also making a stupid argument, because even then there are already conditions in place. If an unmarked vehicle conducts a traffic stop, they still an unmarked vehicle. Most of the times, the officer is in full uniform and is required to showcase their badge and other form of identification.
Been raped, but the whole thing is to protect the public.
Response to her argument. Her argument basically is the nature of driving an unmarked vehicle is for undercover or confidential investigative purposes, and so.
What was the confidential undercover pulling me over?
Well, I don't know, because you didn't subpoena the officer in, or.
Well, I thought that when I did contest the hearing that he was required to show up. I wasn't aware of that, so.
The court rules require that.
Okay.
No. If you wanted to question the officer as to what he was doing in an unmarked vehicle, you have to subpoena him. That's what happens when you're pro se, buddy. The court's not going to do your job for you. If you had a fucking defense attorney, then the defense attorney would subpoena the officer, so then you could question him as to why he was in an unmarked vehicle. Of course, not going to do your job.
Subpoena the officer if you want him to be present. So we're somewhat at a disadvantage in that we're all speculating as to what he may have been doing.
Okay.
It's hard for me to find one way or the other if he's. I mean, Ms. Begoni's argument is that, of course, he's undercover or confidentially investigating because he's in an unmarked vehicle. That's a pretty logical argument. But I mean, what's your response to that?
My response to it is that the law says that they can use him for what I look at undercover and confidential is like sting operations or, surveillance or stuff like that, not going around pulling people over.
Which is what I originally made the point that that's what he thought. That's what he and maybe most people think undercover means in the context of the statute is. People know, but again, people get pulled over by unmarked vehicles all the time, so that suggests to me that there is some justification for using an unmarked vehicle for traffic enforcement. And that the Washington's law saying special investigative purpose and undercover means more than just a fucking sting operation.
For traffic
it's very
infractions.
common, particularly for the Washington State Patrol, to have unmarked vehicles patrolling traffic enforcement.
Yeah, and I've seen that, and actually on the WSP page, I wish I could have brought this article, but there's an article on there that says what they're allowed to use their unmarked vehicles for, and the majority of it is for aggressive driving behaviors, and they said that that's what they're using them for, and it specifically tackles the 46.08.65 law. So the transparency is, I'll be honest with you, when he was pulling me over, I went 3 blocks. I had no idea I was being pulled over. If you see this vehicle, it does not look like a police vehicle.
Well, that's kind of the point.
That's the point. That's the point of an unmarked vehicle. But again, Deacon, I understand where you're coming from. Again, the officer is required to present, a more identification to acknowledge himself as a police officer than, say, a regular marked patrol car would have. The officer would have to be because even I remember reading the law that a plainclothes officer who's off on duty and happens to see somebody like driving like a fucking madman, they have to at minimum show their badge and who they work for and everything. So that's there are procedures in place to avoid the potential for like an impersonator Jeremy DeWitt, for example, of doing these kinds of things.
Yeah, but the LED lights were in the mirrors are so small you can't even see it. I went to where I was going, and then he was behind me. I was like, what are you doing? So, I mean, this vehicle, it's just, can I submit these to you, sir?
And there's for sure.
Okay.
What are they?
Just pictures of his vehicle.
Okay, Lavender. Okay, I keep seeing you putting in the all caps. The law that the law that I'm citing has to do with exceptions to the marked public vehicles law. Like, and it says that vehicles used. Hold on, let me get the exact words, verbiage here. This section, meaning the section requiring publicly owned vehicles to be marked, shall not apply to vehicles of a sheriff's office, local police department, or any vehicles used by local peace officers under public authority for special, undercover, or confidential investigative purposes. That's the crux of this argument here, is whether or not traffic enforcement falls under that exception.
The photographs handed forward by the defendant are labeled as plaintiff's exhibit. It's an A. Plaintiff's exhibit A. Ms. Pagoni, just for your benefit, there are four photographs. It looks like probably an F-150 silver truck. So it's very civilian in nature. I don't know if you see this or not.
Hey, Schrodinger.
I can see that.
We're about to go to a Van Ballian's video after this. Eventually.
All right, and any further argument on this legal issue, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Pagoni, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
So again, the court's at somewhat of a disadvantage in that I don't particularly know about the officer being present. So there was no written motion filed, so the prosecutor didn't know that this would be an issue to present, otherwise she may have subpoenaed the officer in. I don't find a legal basis to find that the officer lacked the authority to pull your vehicle over due to the type of vehicle that he was driving in. I do find that the nature of the law enforcement officer driving this sort of vehicle would indicate that he qualifies as a confidential investigation and that he had the legal authority to pull your vehicle over without further information about the nature of his duties at that particular time. And so I'm going to deny your motion to suppress and dismiss as a result of the lack of authority to pull your vehicle over. Do you have any other preliminary motions to argue?
No, just that I want to appeal it.
That's why we have the right to appeal. And as far, I haven't found against you yet, though, so.
Yeah, you're getting, so it's all right.
So on the merits of whether you were driving a vehicle with an expired vehicle registration, do you wish to give testimony with respect to that?
No.
So I'll hear, or I'll read the officer's report to you as it was submitted to me. I don't know that you've seen it.
No, I have not.
It's only fair for you to know what evidence I'm considering against you. So under the court rules, just so you know, when the officer is not subpoenaed, then the officer's report generally is admissible for the court to consider in the hearing under infraction. So the report submitted in your case reads as follows. On the date, time, and location listed on the above notice of infraction, I had a clear and unobstructed view of the defendant driving the vehicle in Snohomish County, and I stopped them for displaying expired tabs. I observed the tabs affixed to the rear license plate on the vehicle, and the month and or year tab was expired. The tabs indicated an expiration date of 5-2020. A computer check of the defendant's vehicle license tabs revealed the tabs were expired on the date listed in this infraction. Specifically, the computer check revealed the tabs expired on 5/21/2020.
So basically, he's been driving expired tabs for about a year.
This is signed electronically by Deputy J. Latimer, badge number 12.
Because I believe the date of this hearing was late May of this year.
89. Any argument from the state?
No, Your Honor.
And did you wish to make any further argument?
The only thing I did want to say is during, and I recorded the stop too. During the stop, I had said to him the law 46.08.65. It's illegal for you to drive an unmarked vehicle. He actually agreed.
Apparently, the video cuts out here,
With me,
but the audio is
so
still working.
I mean, to even go forward, he even said, okay, you know, when I was quoting the law for him, and I think it's unreasonable and unfair, but you know, I will go from there.
Hey, Taco.
All right.
No, I'm fine.
I do find that you committed this violation based on the information from the officer that your vehicle displayed tabs that were expired, and that was corroborated by the records from the Department of Licensing when doing a computer check. Just to toss that. You owe $231, and I'll give you a document to take to the clerk's office.
You owe $231, meaning that he presented proof of insurance, so they struck the no insurance thing, but they found him responsible for for expired tags. Okay, the judge sounds like he's saying tabs with a B. I always know them as tags, TAGS.
You have 30 days to pay that. That would also be the time frame within which you must file your notice of appeal if you wish to do that. So my clerk will hand you a document. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Let's go to the next matter, please.
Oh, and that's it.
Is just complete bullshit.
Then he's
So,
mad and salty about it.
I thought that I had a pretty good argument. Maybe I was a little nervous and didn't say it the way I wanted to, but I tried my best. Hopefully next.
I mean, in fairness, I don't think it's that bad of an argument. It comes down to a matter of interpretation. It's not your standard SovCit bullshit no jurisdiction argument. I'll credit him that the argument was at least a matter of statutory interpretation that could, you know, reasonably go one way or the other depending on what happens. But at the end of the day, you guys also heard that he's going full Sov, and so that was just like the last straw, I guess. But all right, on to Van Ballions. I don't know what to expect from this, so we're gonna find out what's
okay, guys,
what's
you've all read
happening
the
here.
title of the video, and I promise you, this is not clickbait. It's for real. You guys know I wouldn't do that to you. This is a first for me. I have never encountered this tactic before. Well, not so blatant. Anyway, this guy is called Brian Bowermaster, all lowercase, because of course. And he's part of the Bundy clique, and according to his Facebook page, a bit of a First Amendment auditor and an auditor of
He's a Bundy adherent. Oh boy.
process, whatever that means.
So, the title of the video: "Sovereign Citizen in Court." Quote: "JC is my attorney." Oh boy. I'll put a link to the video here.
He also gets involved in these fake grand juries sovereign citizens like to convene to indict judges and public officials when they won't go along with their delusions. I'm not certain of the charges in this case, but I heard misdemeanor being discussed in the comments of the original video, and there are 5 witnesses. But I'm showing the video mainly for the unique strategy he employs for his defence. Right, let's get into the video.
Yes, Judge, for today. All right, excellent. And then, Mr. Bowermaster, if you're ready, could you please unmute yourself and state?
Bowermaster. Oh, he is part of the Bundy. Bowermaster is part of the Bundy crew. I've showcased a lot of North Idaho Exposed videos, as you guys know. The fake attorney Kirk Pendergrass, Eamon Bundy's antics over there. Bowermaster is yet another one of those independent journalists who has been getting himself in trouble a lot for recording the proceedings without permission and posting them online.
Your name? There he is. All right. Hello, Mr. Bowermaster.
Hi there.
All right. So we set this case over. I think we're just needing a new trial date. Is that accurate, Mr. Bowermaster?
Not as far as I know.
Okay. Okay. So last I knew, just so we're all on the same page, we had this case set for a jury trial. It was set for trial on July 19th at 8:15. And then just before that jury trial, there was a stipulation to continue filed. And then what I understood is that, you know, the reason for that continuance was in part that your attorney, Mr. McCrill, was withdrawing his counsel of record.
When hearing who he now has as his quote-unquote attorney, spoiled by me in the title, I think it was a good move by Mr. McCrill to ditch Bowermaster.
So it would be my understanding that we would need to take up the issues of whether or not you'd like a public defender, so your constitutional right to counsel, and then the issue of jury trial. I don't see that any other motions have been filed. So Mr. Bowermaster, you kind of have two routes here. But the state has this charge against you, and both you and the state have a right to jury trial. So if we aren't going to resolve this via jury trial, what is it that you thought we were going to do today?
Oh, yes, I believe we had already covered the subject that I was auditing this process.
So let me get this correct. You intentionally got yourself charged with a misdemeanor so you could, quote-unquote, audit the court process?
Are you retarded?
And I actually do.
I mean,
so, I feel that the court should
the bold move
be updated on the fact that this has reached a concern of immeasurable level for the people.
So you're one of those guys. You know, the ones who believe they speak for their entire country.
So what the people of Scotland have instructed me to do.
I am we the people along with others here.
No, that's the thing. I'm not a person.
You're not a person.
I'm we the people.
You're what?
The people in your Facebook group do not represent we the people.
And as the one that was elected to audit this, I am here to let you guys know that there have been multiple fails on multiple levels, but there is good news.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm sad to hear that this random ass motherfucker has given the court process a bunch of fails, but he's got good news.
And that good news is what I would like to present to the court now.
Okay, guys, get your face palm protection ready. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Oh, God.
So, as regarding representing myself or anything along those lines, I just need the court to please bear with me. Behold, my eyes has seen all this, my ears has heard and understood this. What you know, I also know. I am not inferior to you. But I would speak to the Almighty, and I desire to reason with God. But you forgers of lies, you are all worthless physicians. Oh, that you would be silent, and it would be your wisdom, now hearing my reasoning and heed the pleadings of my lips. Will you speak wickedly for God, and talk deceitfully for him? Will you show partiality for him? Will you contend for God? Will it be well when he searches you out? Or can you mock him as one mocks a man? Will you surely He will surely rebuke you if you secretly show partiality. Will not his excellence make you afraid, and the dread of him fall upon you? Your platitudes are proverbs of ashes, your defenses are defenses of clay. Hold your peace with me, and let me speak. Then let come on me what may. Why do I take my flesh in my teeth, and put my life in my hands? Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Even so, I will defend my own ways before him. He also shall be my salvation, for a hypocrite could not come before him. Listen carefully to my speech, and to my declaration with your ears. See now, I have prepared my case. I know that I shall be vindicated. Who is he who will contend with me? If now I hold my tongue, I perish. Only two things do not do to me. Then I will not hide myself from you. Withdraw your hand far from me, and let not the dread of you make me afraid. So this court should know that the good news is coming. And if you should be interested in who is representing me, that is Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna play some music in the meantime.
And I've been asked to address the court today that everyone can be forgiven through repentance. And if you wish to have any further communication or address anything further, that will be with my counsel, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. And all proceedings going forward and hearings, Jesus Christ will be appearing for me, as that is the law.
I'll get to y'all super chats in a bit.
So if there aren't any further questions for me, I would ask this court to consider what I've asked. And if you need any contact information for said counsel, I will be happy to send it to any address that the court has on file.
Who is betting that this contact information is just Eamon Bundy's cell phone number?
Would it be Jerusalem? Nazareth?
Facebook group or website?
I do have a couple of questions. When you say you're auditing this process, what does that mean? That you're auditing the process? I just am not following.
Well, I guess at this point I could share that there are violations and deprivations of rights. Unfortunately, we have those in this county that should have prevented these proceedings from even happening. So this process is null and void from its inception for the fact that statutes that are in place are not to be used against the people. The Constitution is not to be interpreted for the benefit of the state.
If you think your rights have been violated, get yourself a civil rights attorney. Also, the state is the people. That means the people choose the laws which we all have to adhere to. If you don't like it, run for office. That's how you make change, not crying about it in court.
And there are many, many things that we could cover, but I don't know that you want to use your time on that now. This is why I have suggested to the court to address my counsel going forward if there's any other questions.
Okay, I'm going to do a couple of things. Number one, I am going to appoint the public defender's office in this case. I'm going to do that based on your earlier application for the public defender.
I don't authorize that.
Okay.
I hear you. From October 30th of 2020, you filed an application for public defender with the court.
Correct. That was part of the audit process.
Why would you get yourself charged with a misdemeanor to audit the court process? If you are that interested in this process, there are many ways you could do it, like applying for an intern position, or even sitting in a court listening to cases. I've done this a few times and it's a great way to follow a case and learn the process. Your way is just dumb.
Based on the representations in that application and concerns I have regarding your ability to represent yourself effectively in this case, I'm going to appoint the public defender's office.
I won't be representing myself as mentioned, Judge. That will be Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior.
I don't have a way to communicate. That doesn't work here.
As I mentioned, I can refer anyone to the contact information for Jesus Christ if that is needed.
Okay. Well.
Out of morbid curiosity, what is the contact information?
It is available. Jesus is available to everyone right now. And if you do need contact information, I do have it for you. I'll even put it in the Zoom chat if you'd like.
This is obviously just part of his audit to see how far he can push the judge, but it looks like she's too savvy to fall for his tactics.
Okay, so Mr. Bowermaster, there are a couple of things with you stating that Jesus is your attorney. Number one, I don't want to be disrespectful of your belief system. You're entitled to that. And that should be honored. But the second thing is, it does raise concerns to me regarding how we are to move forward in this case if that's your position, that Jesus Christ is your attorney. It doesn't work that way here. There's nothing for us to work with here in the court. And then the third concern I have, and I do want to emphasize that I want to respect your belief system, but it makes me concerned regarding your competency.
Kinda.
Because I don't know what you expect us to do with that information. I don't know if you are hearing a voice. I don't know, and I can't help you.
I have a fourth point to raise. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't JC a carpenter? I mean, I would have no doubt in his ability to knock up a half-decent table and chairs for me, but I think he would run into a little bit of trouble navigating the US court system in the 21st century, even if he was only defending you on misdemeanor charges.
I'm not in a position to give you
can't.
advice. All I can do is appoint an attorney to help represent you. So if there are issues regarding competency, those can be brought to the court's attention. Also, if you do act out in court, I have concerns that your right to be present at your own trial, that you could waive that by virtue of your conduct at that trial. So I at a minimum want to have backup counsel appointed in this case.
It sounds like you're subverting what I've already established in the court today. As a matter of fact, that was established by my attorney. I was just given the instructions that I could share that with you at this point as we do this transition. There is no question of competency. There's no question of whether or not that works for this court. This court is ran by God's law. As a matter of fact, everyone takes an oath, I believe, before God. And Jesus Christ is here today in this case, letting you...
Okay, I gotta stop that. I gotta stop that mess. Now, in our modern system, you can swear or affirm to uphold the laws of the Constitution of the United States. Further, the United States, at the very least on paper, you know, we try, but sometimes we fail. On paper, is not supposed to be a theocracy. It doesn't operate on God's law. The Constitution was not based on the Bible. So I'm really getting pissed off of him using the Lord's name in vain like this. I don't even know if I'm using that one right. But anyway, I'm going to go with the super chats before they get too out of control. Rodent, no last name, $5. The God defense as unbeatable as the Chewbacca defense. Billy, thank you for being a member for 2 months now. Deacon, thank you for the $10 super chat. Facebook has made more cult of personality or cult of general than I have ever seen, and that is not scripture. That's supposed to be Psalms. John F, $5. How big a retainer do you need to hire JC as counsel? Well, I would expect that JC would offer his services pro bono. I'd like to think so. Philosopher King Gaming, $2. Artie, I think you may need to vent in court after this. Yeah, maybe. Aaron Reese, $5. I don't think I trust Jesus. He didn't do well with his own trial. Well, I mean, he was... In fairness, Jesus was on trial himself, and he didn't have counsel. At least I don't think I think the game was rigged from the start for Jesus during his trial. So I'm not gonna knock JC for his legal prowess back then. Jesus is Rodent, no last name, $5. Jesus is my co-pilot, but we crashed in the mountains and I had to eat him. He tasted like stale crackers and cheap wine. Weird. Oh my God, Rodent. Fucking terrible.
You know that if you decide to proceed, you will be facing Jesus Christ, not me. That is the counsel of this, of anyone who is put in a position of unlawful proceedings. And I don't, like I said, I don't claim to be the one with the answers. That's why I have this counsel.
But you are not qualified to call these proceedings unlawful. That's why you really do need a licensed attorney to navigate the court process. And if anything, the judge is protecting your rights by appointing the public defender. At least he can show up to a Zoom court hearing.
And I imagine you guys probably understand that. As you've expressed multiple times, it's extremely difficult to represent yourself. I've been shown the same. This world is not set up for that. Nor,
Aaron, I guess I always understood using the Lord's name in vain is meant to imply like using the Lord for your own personal advantage. I guess that's how I have thought. I thought I've interpreted it. That may be something completely different, but that's how I interpret it, but who knows. OPT Lawyer, $5. Has JC filed a notice of appearance? I doubt it.
Where's this court? And that is exactly why I must refer you to my counsel going forward. And a public defender will not be able to take the place of Jesus Christ because that wouldn't be permitted by God's law. And going forward, if anyone feels that there's any questions about the validity of this case, I'm sure that you can refer to my counsel to explain to you why this case should be dismissed.
Okay, there haven't been any motions filed for the court to take up.
The spoken word is that, ma'am. And if Jesus feels that any motions need to be placed any further, I'm sure that will be done going forward.
Oh my fucking god, he really is playing. He really is dead serious. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So,
I can't speak for Jesus, though.
First of all, that laugh. Secondly, it kind of sounds like you are speaking for your quote-unquote attorney here.
You
which
are!
basically means you are representing yourself, and that's never a good idea.
Well, and that's the issue, right? Because certainly that no one can. And so we aren't going to have a very good record of what your attorney presents in terms of a defense on your behalf. So, Ms. Mon, with all of this information, I'd like to, as I already said, I'm going to appoint the public defender's office over Mr. Bowermaster's objection. And I think you both might want to know, Mr. Bowermaster, that the currently, at least for
Sorry, I don't know why I paused it. I was like lost in thought just for a second there. I apologize.
Jury trials aren't going to proceed. So I can proceed in one of two ways. I can either set this for another status conference, but I think that's just delaying. I don't think that that would be helpful. I think what I need to do is get this on the jury trial calendar with the status conference in anticipation of that jury trial. And did you want to be heard otherwise, Ms. Mon, or otherwise make any statements for the record?
No, Judge, the state would request that this case be set for jury trial at this time.
Okay.
Just think, we could be in for the trial of the century if his attorney shows up. I really hope he has a good internet connection, or a computer for that matter. Seriously though, we know he's attempting to represent himself here, or just baiting and toying with the judge. Either way, all he's really doing is wasting the court's time. And his own.
An Aramaic.
And I think the best date for me to do that on my calendar, I think
So you're denying all chances for my attorney to address any of this?
How? If, as what you agreed to, that nobody can speak for Christ, how is he going to respond to anything?
You know, if we could hear your attorney could speak on your behalf, but I'm not.
Then maybe we should have a whatever you require so that you can hear Jesus. I'll make sure that that happens.
Oh my fucking god.
So
what would that take?
A miracle, maybe?
What we'll do is we're going to set this for a jury
Judge,
trial.
did you hear me? I don't know if the audio's getting through.
No, I heard you. You asked me what it would take for us to hear from Jesus.
What would you need on that? Could I send you some contact information so you can speak with him?
I swear to God.
No. I think at this point.
Are you denying Jesus Christ in this courtroom?
Oh my God!
No, I don't think that I would. I don't have any authority to do that. Right. And also, Mr. Bowermaster, based on your conduct today, I do think that this is more of a way for you to toy with the court than it really is.
Absolutely not. That is a disrespect, I think, to Jesus Christ.
An issue of competency. That's kind of where I'm coming down on this one.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is doing. He said it himself, he's auditing the court process, meaning he is doing exactly what First Amendment auditors do, which is bait public officials, sometimes with absurd requests and actions.
But I'm trying to find a good date.
Well, that's between you and Jesus. If you choose not to hear him, I have no judgment on you whatsoever.
All right. I'm going to set this for a jury trial, Ms. Mon. I'm going to do it on October 7th, which isn't the
Yeah,
normal.
at this point, I would just ignore him.
Jury trial date on this calendar, but it's one that I feel that I could honor better. And I think it's important that any jury trial date we give Mr. Bowermaster, I'm going to use whatever power and authority I have to maintain that date. I really like to maintain that and give him priority. So that would be a jury trial of October 7th at 8:30 here at the Ada County Courthouse. And then we would have a status conference the Monday before at 3:30. So that would be October 4th at 3:30. And then any proposed jury instructions, witness or exhibit lists, and pretrial motions, including motions in limine, would be due 1 week before that status conference. Actually, I'm going to change my mind on that. They're going to be due 2 weeks before that status conference. That way we'll have sufficient time. That way, Mr. Bowermaster, you can have an opportunity to respond to any motions filed by the state, and the state can have time to respond to any motions filed by you. And then what I will do is have the cutoff date for discovery disclosures will be 3 weeks before the status conference. I think that should work. Ms. Bond, was there anything else you wanted the court to address today?
No, thank you, Judge. That works for the state's witnesses.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Bowermaster, is there any reason that you can't be here October 7th at 8:30?
Well, I won't be appearing, as I mentioned. My counsel will be appearing for me.
Oh my fucking God.
Brian himself will be appearing and his attorney will be speaking through him, which will definitely be worth a watch, so stay tuned for that video.
But I don't see any problems with that. Jesus is always on time, and I assure you that Jesus loves you guys no matter what you choose to do.
All right, thank you. I do appreciate that. I guess
Absolutely.
I would say this, though, in terms of your presence, you can't appear at trial through your attorney. You have
Sure I can.
No. Even at trial, you have to be there. You have to be there. You and your attorney have to be there at trial. For a motions hearing, maybe not. But at trial, you need to be there physically, you fucking idiot.
And
that is the law. That if it's not a felony, I don't have to be there.
The other issue is, Mr. Bowermaster.
Okay, maybe he might be right. Maybe in Idaho, if it's not a felony, he doesn't have to be there.
If you wanted to provide any testimony, your own defense, certainly.
But then again, if his attorney is JC, and he's relying on his attorney, I'm going to weigh on the odds that he's not going to be there either, and they're going to find him guilty.
You have the right to remain
in absentia.
To remain silent at trial. No one can compel you to testify against yourself, but you may choose to waive that right. Just like you've chosen to waive the right to counsel, you can waive the right to be silent, and you can testify in your own defense, but you have to be here to do that. And I really am trying
If it's right that he's going to appear and pretend that Jesus is speaking through him, then there might be a competency issue.
Opportunity.
I actually don't know what his charges are. I think they mentioned that earlier in the video, but it was a misdemeanor. I know that much.
If you have a defense, to make a defense.
I'm just the messenger, ma'am.
But you are also the defendant, meaning you should really be there. But yeah, legally you don't have to be. But if, like you say, you shouldn't have been charged, then it's in your best interest to turn up and defend yourself.
I Like I
Okay.
mentioned, I have nothing. This court case should have never happened in the first place, but that's not my judgment. That's the law that God has created, and I know that everyone involved knows better, and it's not my place to put a judgment on that. I'm just asking you to refer to my counsel going forward as to how this case should be handled accordingly to maintain the law of this land.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Bauer.
Okay.
I think with that, you all may be excused and the court will be in recess until 2:30.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
God bless you all.
Recording stopped.
Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you.
Oh my god, and he is going for trial, isn't he? And that's just going to be another fucking clusterfuck, shit show of epic proportions. Oh my god. Okay. I think I need to stop it there. Philosopher, I can't necessarily play Gorn yet because Gorn requires like a room scale space. It doesn't allow standing room only. But I am working on. I had ordered an extension cable as well as stands for the base stations, so that I can move my VR setup to my living room and I'll be able to play room scale VR games. So look for that this weekend, and we'll go from there. Thank you, Kivi, for the gift of Pavlov VR. It looks really awesome. I can't wait to check that out at least. But let's go to the super chats real quick. Casey, $2. Didn't know they offered the bar exam in Aramaic. I didn't know that either. He watched a movie once. Oh, wait. Deacon. Whoops. Hang on a second here. Why is it doing that? There you go. Deacon, $5. He watched a movie once and is going with that. Probably Left Behind or some mess like that. Man, I haven't heard the term Left Behind in a long time. Cajunese, $5. How fun would it be to see that judge's notepad right about now? Yeah, I'd be interested to see it too. And Viable Ma'am, $4.99. Welcome back. Hey, I'm happy to be back. I appreciate that. But Cluster Snuggle, Fluster Cluck, yeah. $5. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Dublin Curtis. Aha, no more boring nights. Hey, like I said, it's good to be back. I have already set my I am already planning on heading back to Dallas in October for the actual wedding itself. So I'll be back there again. Though I will say I really do want to go to Houston afterwards at some point, one of these days. But anyway, yeah, guys, I had fun in Vegas. Like I said, I didn't drink as much as you guys think I did. But I had fun regardless. He was completely wild. His friends are wild, but we didn't do anything that wild. Let's put it that way. I know the whole mantra of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but in reality, like, I'm being dead serious that nothing like that crazy happened outside of what I posted earlier of my brother getting spanked by some street doms. That was hilarious, but that really was the wildest we ever got. We just went to the nightclub on Tuesday night, bottle service. Talked to some girls, though. About at least half of them were just there to try and jack our liquor, which we told them to get the fuck out. The other half were actually pretty nice, and, you know, we allowed them to have some of our bottle service. But the initial half were just there purely for the alcohol. You know, I didn't see it, but Alex's friend saw it from a mile away. But Thank you very much, Josh, for the $5 super chat. Right up your alley. Thank you again for the $5. When you come back to DFW, I'll buy you beer. Like I said, I'll be back in October, and then afterwards, like I said, I have some old friends in Houston that I want to see, so we'll take there. No, I didn't pin any tail on anything like that. Settle down. All right. I'm gonna end it here before it gets too wild. But tomorrow I'm gonna play some VR probably, and go from there. Hopefully what I need to set up my VR out in the living room will arrive this weekend as well, and I'll be able to play Gorn and some of the other games that require a whole room setup, not just standing room only. But thank you again, guys. If you don't know, my gaming channel is Artrexislives, youtube.com/c/Artrexislives. Check that out. That's where I play all my video games. I also know that I'm I'm very close to 5,000 subs on both channels. Actually, I'm 4,800 subs on both gaming and this one. So if 5,000 happens, obviously I'm gonna have a celebration for that. And are we going to get a shot of you while you play? I mean, I thought about being able to do a webcam of me playing, but maybe you'll get to see that. Oh, real quick, I do want to say that as part Thank you, Asher, for the 1776 for the $10 super chat. Much appreciated. Before, real quick, I apologize. So in anticipation of my brother's wedding, which is the second Sunday of October, I really want to lose weight in time for that. So I'm kind of curious to get with you guys, like how much weight can I lose responsibly, like health-wise, from now until then? I want to try and lose like maybe 20 pounds, but I doubt I can do that. It's like a month and a half. I'll have like the idea is I plan on cutting out soda, cutting out a lot of sugar, cutting out a lot of salt, and I also plan on cutting out a lot of alcohol. Like I really want to cut down on the alcohol because I know it's part of the problem. So that's the idea is cut out soda, cut out alcohol, cut out a lot of the sugary stuff, and going from there, and we'll see what happens. But I currently weigh a little over 190. I want to get to around 170, if possible. I used to weigh 170 like back in like October, so right around this time last year, and I want to get back down there. So we'll see. So yeah, that's the idea. Which so I was wondering if it's possible. The idea is to cut down on a lot of those items, as well as I think going to my running group every week, and then maybe playing a lot of the action-oriented VR games will help me get some exercise too. That's also part of the plan, but we'll see if that actually works out. But we'll go from there. All right, thank you guys again. I'm for the record, I'm 5'9.5" and about 190 ish right now. So that's basically where I am right now, and I want to lose about 20 pounds before the wedding. So anyway, thank you guys. If you want to, we could have the further discussion on my Discord. I want to end the stream here, but thank you guys again. I'll take care of we'll take care of it tomorrow. See each other tomorrow, and I'll see you next time. Later. Boop. Thanks, guys.
Bye.